District. I can't tell all of you how grateful I am to have you out here door knocking for me this morning. But it's not for me, and I know that, because I have never taken the view that this seat is mine. This seat is yours. This seat, this congressional seat, it's something we battled for so many years, and frankly, decades. This seat was in Republican hands for 70 of 80 years before all of you helped me win in 2018. We held this seat in 2020 in a really difficult political environment where 90% of voters came out in the 2nd Congressional District, the second highest turnout congressional district in the country in 2020. And it's going to take so many of those same folks coming back if we're going to hold this seat here in 2022. Look, folks, it's a tough environment out there, right? I mean, we have to acknowledge that people are hurting because of inflation, but instead of complaining about it and saying things like my Republican opponent says, that inflation is something that is helping Republican candidates. Imagine that this is what you say when someone asks you about inflation. I've had my head down working to lower the cost of fuel by making sure we have year-round sales of E15. I've had my head down making sure Medicare can finally negotiate drug pricing in our country. I've had my head down extending the ACA tax credits, passing a bill to cap copays on insulin at $35 a month, capping prescription drug costs for our nation's seniors at $2,000 a year. Look, we know we've got some work to do, but I have to tell you, globally, inflation is a challenge, but Americans, I believe, if we would just stop making these things a political wedge issue, could do so much more. I'm proud of the accomplishments, from the Inflation Reduction Act to the bipartisan infrastructure bill to absolutely bipartisan gun safety bill. So I'm proud of what we've done, but I also am desperately afraid of what they are going to do if they take back the House, if they take back the majority. I can assure you, we are going to see a bill to ban abortion across this nation. And I don't care what my opponent says he would do. What this guy says is states should have the right to regulate a woman's body, which means, what does that mean if you say I'm for states' rights? It means exactly what we have in the Dobbs decision. 1 in 3 American women have lost access to reproductive rights already in our nation. And if these guys take over, I guarantee you they're going to pass a nationwide abortion ban. So I just want you all to know this is a tough fight. Again, you all know that this is one of the very few dead even districts in America. And when I say that, what I really mean is it's super libertarian leaning, and we've got an independent streak in the 2nd District of Minnesota. And we're going to have to go fight for every single vote between now and November 8th. And I know if we do that, if we keep fighting, that we are going to hold this seat, that we are going to hold the House of Representatives. And in the end, and I believe this no matter, with all of my heart and soul, no matter what happens in 23 days, but who's counting? No matter what happens in 23 days, I believe with all of my heart that our values in the end are going to win. I believe that. There may be some ups and downs over the next decade. There always have been, right? Cheryl and I, we watched the election results coming in 2008, when Barack Obama was elected our next president. Remember the sheer joy when that happened? Well, that same night, California passed Proposition 8. And we didn't even know if our marriage would be recognized under the law after that night. And just fast forward 8 years later, and our marriage was recognized in the law of this land. So I know that you, like me, understand that this is not a fight for the next 23 days, that this is the fight of our lifetime, that America could become exactly what our founders promised, right? Liberty and justice for all, no matter the color of your skin, no matter who you worship, no matter who you love. That's the America that I get up every single day and I fight for. And I'm going to end with this. Look, I thought I'd found my highest gear out there, off-roading in my Jeep for that ad. I thought I'd found my highest gear when I ran for Congress and won and then held a seat that had been Republican in hands for 70 of 80 years. I thought I'd found my highest gear when folks literally stormed the Capitol and tried to take our democracy away from us. I have not found my highest gear yet, because these folks are trying to take away 50 years of precedent that women have fought for. These folks, 157 of them, voted against marriage equality in the year 2022. In the year 2022, I had to introduce a bill to protect contraception. Folks, literally birth control, IUDs, and condoms in the year 2022. And my kids can't even believe that I have to say this out loud at this moment in time. But this is what we're up against. And if you think you're tired, you just wait. If you think you've had it all and it's just been a tough 7 years of the Trump years, it's not over, folks. So rest up after November 8th. You'll need it. But between now and then, we have to stop the MAGA Republican Party. We have to protect our democracy. And I can tell every single one of you, I am more fired up. I'm in the highest gear I've found so far, but I am not done finding another gear. So thank you so much.